welcome to the Michaux State Forest. It's a Sunday morning, late in March. It's about 28 degrees to start, beautiful blue skies, and we are doing a hike today called the Canada Hollow Loop, where there's supposed to be some interesting habitat. Now we're right at about the top of the ridge here in South Mountain. As a matter of fact, the Appalachian Trail is like 100 feet that way. We're at this intersection of roads. You can see Snow White behind me. This was our first trip out into the state forest, and I'm excited to check out this this loop of about 4 miles. So it's kind of cold. Let's start moving. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate you. Canada Hollow, here we come. So we got a sign here. It says Canada Hollow Trail. So this is a footpath here. So I'm going to do this loop counterclockwise. I guess it finishes on the road, but we're on a footpath now. Look how beautiful this is. So it looks like this might be a perfect choice for a wintertime hike with all this greenery here. In my way towards Philadelphia, spring is well underway. Trees are flowering, forsythia and daffodils are blooming, but up here on the mountain it's still winter. So we did pass a sign at the beginning of this trail, right near where I parked, that indicated there was prescribed burns in this area. And from some of the images I recall seeing, I think like some of this area has almost like maybe like a savanna like habitat. That's really what I'm curious about. But right now on this part of the trail, we're right on the edge of a hollow, and I assume this is Canada Hollow. This is probably the way I came up in the truck, but coming to a little bit of a clearing here. Looks pretty nice. A lot of dead trees in here, like that one I just showed you. I'm not sure what species that is. I'm not sure if they're like oaks that been hit with the gypsy moth, or I'm not really sure. All this low brush on the side of the trail here is probably, I'm guessing, like blueberry or some heath plant that probably looks awesome in the fall. It probably all turns red in October. This might be a nice trail to hit again in October. There's definitely a unique feel to this place. I'm not super familiar with the Michaux State Forest. I've been here plenty of times, but you know, it's a big forest, 85,000 acres, and this feels like, I don't know, something like a little different. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but are these not chestnut burrs? Could there be a few chestnut trees up here? Or would that be like from like a chestnut oak? I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments, because I just seen a bunch of these on the ground here, and they're really, really sharp and pointy. So what you see is what you get on this trail. Been pretty consistent so far. Just have some of these larger pines above us, and continuing with this dense understory. And we're not far from a location called the Meeting of the Pines Natural Area. I was there years and years ago, but supposedly it's the only place in Pennsylvania where you can find 5 different species of pine tree all in the same location. So this extension of South Mountain, this is the northernmost extension of the Blue Ridge, and there is more of like a southern forest habitat in sections of the Michaux Forest here than where you'll basically find anywhere else in Pennsylvania. Trail's beginning to drop in elevation just a bit here. This is the first real noticeable elevation change along the trail. It's been pretty flat and pretty easy going, really. A couple narrow spots, but not bad. I mean, and really not even that rocky, really, for where we're at. A few loose scattered rocks, but nothing crazy. I think we're coming up to that point on the map that's marked as a vista. I hope we get to see something, because I can see some nice stuff through the trees, but it's hard to really show on camera. Oh wow, guys, I see something up ahead that me likey. Oh man, wait till you see this. This is what we came for. It's gonna be awesome. So we just passed over the Canada Hollow road, and I crossed that. I crossed the bottom of that trailhead on a ride in. So if you wanted to do this loop and extend it, you could actually start at the bottom of the trail and make this into a lollipop. But now we're into that savanna habitat that I was looking for. Wow, just super cool, super neat out here. I hope this opens up to a clear view. I want to show you guys. Man, this is awesome. Well, here we are, another amazing spot here in scenic Pennsylvania. And sometimes as we go on these hikes and explore these places, we see that man can have incredible negative, damaging effects to the environment, and he can also improve the environment through selective forest management, such as we have here, where this area has been it's been logged. It's also managed by burns to create a unique habitat for certain species. So we're going to continue our walk now and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate you. These are the kind of hikes and the kind of places I really love, because it's something so different than what you would typically see. The beginning of the trail was nice, but it all kind of looked the same, and you just don't get locations like this in Pennsylvania every day. Just like in the pine barrens of New Jersey, and you can see the blackened tree trunk, but you can see this pine, how it survives that burn and comes back healthier than ever. Some ecosystems are really dependent on fire. We should be starting to climb back uphill pretty soon. I'm surprised how far we're going down. And then I think the return leg will be on a road and probably nice and easy and flat. But we're still going downhill as I almost go down. Heard something up that way. For some reason, I think maybe I thought I saw a flash of something. Maybe a mountain bike. And I was just thinking to myself, the way this trail weaves around, it would be a good, interesting mountain biking trail. See if somebody comes down the trail behind us. Well, I guess I was right, wasn't I? I seen that flash go by. Sometimes I say these things and you probably think I'm making it up, but you do hear things and see things out of the corner of your eyes, and usually your instincts are right. Alright, so I want to show you something here on the phone. So you can see the blue, okay? That's me. And the green is the route I was trying to take, and you can see we got off the route on a side trail, and this is why it's a good thing to have an app like All Trails. So what I got to do is just retrace my steps to the point where the blue marker, me, matches with the green trail, and we'll get back on the way we're going. Always a good idea to have an app with you, especially a place like this where nothing's marked or blazed and you've never been to before. So this kind of thing happens all the time. That's why every once in a while you just check it, make sure you're going the right way. So right here is where I was supposed to make a left turn, and this is the trail I've been following, and you can see that this is a really well established obvious trail, and this is more, it looks like more like a secondary trail. So I went that way, and you can see why you could easily blow by something like that. But you know, I kept going downhill, and I kept saying that doesn't make sense, because the whole time we've been hiking, we've been going downhill from where we parked. So I know by logic we have to start going up. So now hopefully we're heading back the right way. Again, I just want to stop and show you, because look how fascinating this is. So here you have a small pine sapling, young tree, and it was burned, but look at all the new growth coming right from the base of the tree. All that fresh new growth. And that tree is perfectly fine, it's not dead. So we made it out to the road, and it's going to be walking on this the rest of the way back to the truck. Interesting piece of equipment there, obviously taking calculations on the weather, rain, wind, temperature for this location. I'll tell you what, I really like this section here. This road walk is a lot nicer than I thought it would be. I kind of wish I would have came this way first and had the better light in the morning coming this way. So I think if I came back, I'd do this clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Yeah, it's just pretty cool back here. All right, really cool spot. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm walking, I'm like, you know, I love these kinds of hikes where you have these open areas and you have these more like expansive views. It's very rare in Pennsylvania. And I think I'd rather walk through habitat like this than through like a really dense forest most of the time, unless it's like a really beautiful or special forest. And I'm not comparing it to Acadia, but it kind of reminds me of walking on the top of the mountain at Acadia, because you got these views out into the distance, and it's just the openness of it is what really makes it unique. Just talking out loud. That's what I do here, talk to myself. Hopefully you're still listening. All right, my friends, I think that's going to do it here from the Michaux State Forest, the Canada Hollow Loop, 4.5 miles. You could certainly make it longer than that with all the little side trails going everywhere. I suggest you bring all trails. Watch out for that little side trail where I missed the trail, and this last section, or first section, depending on how you go. If I came back, I would probably, depending on the time of day, go clockwise. Beautiful road walk. It feels like you're in a completely different place than Pennsylvania, walking through these pine habitat up here on top of the mountain. Well, at any rate, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you for another adventure here in scenic Pennsylvania. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, let me know down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I thank you and I appreciate you. And I'm going to take the last half a mile, I think, for myself, just to relax. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Gator out.